Looking back now, after the years of success, being stopped and approached by people who realise the impact that the film's had on people, how would you think? I mean, we've spent a day at a school today, and you've seen kids just still enthralled on what you're saying, they're obsessed with the film, they know the film inside out. If you could give the kids one message from the film to take away, or from the character Billy, what would you give them? What would you like kids to take from it?
Well, I think that's why Barry wrote the novel, and why Ken Loach decided to make a film of the book. Barry, Ken and Tony Garnett, the producer, were like brothers in arms for a social cause. They wanted to illustrate and highlight the problems with the education system, the social system, the domestic system, the latchkey kid, because mums and dads, and even more so nowadays, they're out when their kids are coming home, so they have to have their own key. When I was a kid, it would be in our coal house, or coil oil as we used to call it, or in the outer house. And I think that's what the film is really about, is when Billy is looked upon as a no-hoper. He's destined for a real dead-end job, a colliery, a glassworks factory, bottling and things like that, without any possibility of having something that he's good at. And I think Ken and Tony and Barry wanted to kind of give to the generations to come that if teachers and parents can find that spark that really a youngster is passionate about, and that you can water that seedling, if it's a seed, say, that it will sprout and it will grow. And instead of consigning someone who has talent to a dead-end job, you can set them off on a life path that can actually change the world. I mean, you look at what's happening with Greenpeace and how that movement, and how saving the planet, David Attenborough is a great kind of... I love David Attenborough because he teaches us, but he doesn't teach us as a teacher. He teaches us as someone who is sharing information. And I hope that Billy's story will inspire young people to actually break that social mould that they may have been pushed into by teachers who don't understand them, by parents who haven't got the time to get to know their child, that in actual fact there is a life beyond their teenage years if they can hang in there.
That's what I would like to see kids taking out of it. Just because you've slipped through the net of education, you're not the best. You're not the best sitting in a classroom. You might not be brilliant sitting with a textbook or learning algebra. If you can get something, and it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, Billy, nobody knew about falconry. Everybody thought he was a bit crazy and laughed at him for training birds, but he's got that one thing that just makes him special, and he's got it.
That's right.
And I think as adults as well, I think when you get kids and you can get that tiny little spark, we need to make time for it, not try and discourage them and say, no, what you need to do is take the safe option and work in a factory or get down the coal mine. Take the gamble.
And I think also you've got to try to engage youngsters to open them out again, because more and more of them are becoming internalised into internet and iPads and things, and they're cutting out all of what's around them because of a tiny screen. That's not what life's about.
I mean, that's how kids communicate, isn't it?
There's so much fake news, you know. Look, don't believe what anybody says. Discover it for yourself before you think that whether it's a fact or if it's false. Don't read something on an iPad and think that it's automatically what is reality. Discover it for yourself. But kids, they're all into this little pad, and it's very sad because it's nature that keeps us sustained.
I mean,
that's how we live.
If he hadn't have
sustenance.
If he hadn't have had the trust in himself because he's never been given it off anybody else to go, right, this is what I want to do, I'm going to go and get my own book, whether I pinch the book or not, I'm taking it and I'm going to do this. He probably would have just been concreted in to working in a coal mine, and then that's how you stagnate.
That's right. Well, I think that's the thing that's, in Billy's case, was unique about him. He didn't need someone to find his passion. He discovered it one day when he was walking through a wood, because he'd had experience with various birds, like a blue jay, jackdaw, and various other creatures. But suddenly when he saw a bird of prey and he recognized that this was different, he was hooked. He didn't need someone to engender, to give him that hook. He found it himself. So in a way, it's a great manual for teachers in order to find those hooks, to try to get young people involved, as opposed to kind of, you know, what
in
it's.
terms of teachers as well, I've been Colin Welland. That's the type of teacher that you want. That's the type of teacher we need in education. Not just someone saying, right, this is what Ofsted's telling me to do, this is the way we need to go, and this is how you pass your exam.
That's right.
Not even teachers, adults, I think, everybody.
I think probably a lot of teachers have kind of come round to that way of working with youngsters and engaging with them. But in my time, I remember, I think it was The Guardian, they had a headline that said, after the film had been premiered in London, bad teachers will hate it, good teachers will love it.
Definitely.
I think.
But it's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot.
All right,
thanks for coming up and spending the day over.
It's been great fun.
It's
I've
been
enjoyed
brilliant.
it.
I've really enjoyed it today.
We'll do it again.
Definitely.
All
Definitely
right.
do it again.
Okay.
Brilliant.
As long as you've got a pint of shandy for me.
I'm quite happy with that. I'll get them in.
All right. No, I think it's my round now.